Hi everybody, I'm Art Conforti. I'm joined here with Lisa Harriman, and today we're going to talk about what's more important than the actual work that we do. It's the reason we do it and our approach to it.
Can you explain some of the tips and tricks that the order takers can use when taking an order for different occasions?
I understand, it's not really tricks, but the tips are empathy. It's knowing how to shift from you take one order and the person is so excited, it's a birthday, I'm going to send some flowers, or I just became a grandmother. And everyone's talking about becoming a grandmother, how wonderful that is. And
So how does the order taker handle that? Taking an order for a new baby.
well, they're excited, right? So somebody orders for a baby and you're like, yes, congratulations. Is this your first? And you're talking with them. You're making them feel good.
Okay.
Maybe you might want to have a balloon so everyone knows. And it's not about selling extra things to sell them. It's to celebrate, tell the world
It's
that
to say congratulations.
yes, congratulations, an exciting time.
Versus a funeral.
Right behind that could be a call for a funeral arrangement. All of a sudden now, somebody just lost a family member. You can't put that shift in emotion into an employee manual. What you have to understand is to dial it down immediately. So you could get off the phone having a wonderful conversation. You pick up the phone, we just had a death in the family. Immediately, tone it down. I'm so sorry. Because at the end of the day, there's nobody else in this conversation besides you and the person on the phone.
And that's the first point of contact for
That's the
for your
first.
florist job.
Right. So that's the first time they're going to speak to you. So now you're with them. You should not have any noise in the background. You should make sure that there's no interruptions and that it's just you and that person that's placing the order, because that's where the empathy comes in.
Would you suggest the flower shop script different
Maybe, but
synonyms or emotions or attitudes to have for different occasions?
honestly, Lisa, I say just dial it down. Just tone it down. Feel the person. Feel how unfortunate their life has just changed. And how would you treat a person? I always say to people that work for me, how would you treat someone that came to your home? And when they tell me that, I said, that's how I want you to treat them coming into the store. Walk them out to the car with their flowers. Talk to them. See what else you can do for them. But understand the different indicators and the signals that people give when they're placing an order, because it's not like ordering a pizza. It's not like ordering an Uber.
Or a Valentine's Day, which is just one emotion
Well,
over and over. You're
Valentine's Day,
taking
the same
orders
one.
for the same
Exactly.
for the same emotion.
Happy Valentine's Day, I love you, can't wait to see you, let's go to dinner. It's all pretty much the same until you get that
Everyday occasion.
again, or sympathy occasion could
Right.
slip in there too. So it's important when you understand empathy. I think that's what makes us special. When we spent a lot of time this weekend going through businesses, right? We went through a restaurant. We went through your situation here. You got your car. You have a situation with your car. The car's not running. You have bumper to bumper coverage, but meanwhile, what are you feeling when you call them up and
The service desk hung up on me.
right? They didn't hang up on you when you bought the service, though.
Right.
When you paid for the bumper to bumper.
Right.
So we take all these occasions. Then we went to lunch. We had to beg for the waiter to wait on us, or the waitress. We didn't know who it was. The waitress comes and gives us water. Waiter says hello. The waitress gives us something else. The waiter stops by. The owner says, "How you doing?"
No
Somebody
follow-up.
passed us up a rose. I mean,
Right.
so they have a rose. They give us a rose because they're trying to be nice.
But no one took our order.
But no one took the order. So think about it. So this is, how do you run your business? Do you just put together the idea, hey, let's give them a rose. Right, we'll give them a rose. Did we forget to tell the person to acknowledge the customer? Did we forget to tell them to make eye contact and say, welcome? We had to get our own table. We barely got our drinks, and we could hardly get their attention, where I had to go in there and say, can we have crushed red pepper? This is a nice restaurant. I'm not going to give out their name. We're not looking to hurt anybody here. We're looking to make people understand that you can have guidelines of every step in action, like you were saying earlier, but if it's not followed through with empathy, and common sense isn't included, it
Right.
doesn't work.
And your point of contact, your first point of contact person is the most important.
And let's, you know who the first point of contact is?
So,
It's the person that's taking the order on the phone or at the counter. The other one's a driver.
okay.
Your driver is so valuable because they're out there walking down the hallway in an office building with flowers. And what do you think people say to him all day long? Is that for me? Is that for me? I'll take those. And then what do you do? Does anybody think about that? What do you do? Let's think about that. This is why I enjoy meeting with flower shops. I enjoy going to their stores and talking with them because you know what? Every employee wants to be great. Every employee wants to go the extra yard, but they don't know how.
So just being aware of the protocol of how to handle yourself on different occasions can mean all the difference for
But
your
also
sales.
the owner, don't assume that the employee knows what you want them to do.
Right.
Because I've worked with over 200 flower shops, and they all mean well, but they don't know exactly what they need to do with that situation because they don't want to make a mistake. So many times people choose to be quiet and not say anything instead of saying too much.
Do you offer any training?
I do. We have a manual that we can send you. If you leave a message right on here, yes we can. And I'm going to send you our manual that will show you the tips, the do's and don'ts, and everything you need to give to your employee. But you have to remember to explain the how to do it, not just here it is, do it, because they won't figure it out. It'll never come out right. If you'll do that and type in yes we can, because I coined that phrase, the yes we can florist.
So what you say is as important as how you say it.
I think sometimes how you say it is more important than what you say. For example, have a nice day. Go jump in a lake. Are you kidding me? You're laughing because I'm laughing because I said it lightheartedly. But I did say have a nice day. Like if the boss said, tell the employees to say have a nice day. Have a nice day. That's not the attitude you want.
Right.
It's empathy. It all goes back to empathy,
And tone.
common sense, tone. I used to write people up or warn them using the term T-O-N-E. If I felt they had a bad tone, if they weren't smiling when they speak, I would sit them down and we would talk about that. I know it sounds a little extreme, but I really did this, and you could speak to the employees that work for me if you don't believe me. I actually sat down and said, I want you to think about your delivery. Don't just say it because I told you to say it. Say it because you mean it. And if you don't mean it and you're saying it because I told you to say it, then mean it for the paycheck. Do it because you're told to do it. At the end of the day, don't just be robotic. I expect that because I will do anything to make sure that transaction is closed out to everyone's satisfaction on the customer side, which means there's nothing holding you back from being successful. So by all means, if I'm willing to make the investment and say to you that do whatever you need to do to make the customer happy, who wouldn't want to work for a company like that? I mean, we're truly standing behind our product and our team to make sure it's the best experience. Let's remember something. There isn't one transaction you make in a year that you'll remember a year later. You just won't. It just doesn't happen. So don't make a big deal out of it. But there are two kinds of services that customers never forget. You know what they are?
Terrible service
That's one of
and
them.
exceptional service.
You got it. Exceptional and horrible. People remember great service. I'm told walking down the street how many times we've been stopped. I remember when you did this and you did that. And don't hold back your employees by limiting them. Tell them that the sky's the limit. No one's going to get in trouble. And I'm going to close with this. You need to have a lost order log in your store. Everyone tells me it's not a big deal, Art. We don't lose orders. If that's what you're thinking, you're right in the group with 99% of all the shops. Who comes to work thinking they're going to have a lot of lost orders? You don't want to lose an order, but things happen. You know, one time it was a watering can. Every day on my sheet they wrote watering can, watering can.
Why do you think that was?
Because Oprah mentioned putting flowers in a watering can. It made for a pretty arrangement. Pick the flowers from the garden, put them in a watering can. And then people started wanting a watering can for their flower arrangements. They wanted it in a watering can because Oprah said so. I would have never known that. And I don't know that you would have known that if your employees were just being told, "Do you have a watering can?" No, we don't. Okay, but when you see that coming up every couple days, you realize that there's an opportunity you're missing, and you wouldn't have known that if you didn't have the lost order lock in place. So
So your order takers have to have a lot of heart.
they have to have a lot of attention to detail. Pay attention to what's going on. My thoughts about policies and procedures are get rid of policies, just have procedures. There's no reason for a policy. If the customer's not happy, I don't care about the policy. Neither does the customer. And you know what? If the customer doesn't come back to you, you're not going to care about the policy either. Let's work on procedures. The yes we can is the commitment, and the procedure is whatever it's going to take to make the customer happy. We are in an emotion business. Nobody needs flowers. They choose to send flowers, and at the end of the day, they're conveying a message, and the vehicle are the flowers.
So that order taker could be the last time this person ever calls, or
Right.
they could be a customer for life.
Right, based on the order taker, so, thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
great. We have these conversations all day long, it's all we talk about, and I'm very lucky to have a partner in my world that loves this as much as I do, and we really enjoy exceeding expectations and focusing on customer service. So please keep in touch, like and subscribe to my channel, and let us share more with you. Again, respond to yes we can, and I will get you out the documents that you need for our customer service manual that will take you above and beyond your competition. Thanks again.
Thanks.